What's up, everybody? Fujiwara is here. This is gonna be used car rant. I talked about cars before and buying vehicles and things, but we're going to talk about lemons because I bought one. And I tell you what, I did. I used to be a car salesman, man, a used car salesman, and I screwed up and I didn't do the basics this time. I was going through a certain situation. If you want to figure that out, go to YouTube, subscribe, Demon Lord Odin 454. But yeah, and was in a rush to get the car, and I did not do the basic stuff, and also end up screwing up on the title as well, and that ended up costing. But yeah, I'm driving my Lemon right now, and I made lemonade out of it. And let me tell you, like I said, didn't do the basics. When I say that, you know, you buy the car. Well, before you even buy the car, you know, you test drive it, which I did do that. Test drove it. I checked the oil. Didn't see any metallic in it. Transmission fluid, same thing. Wasn't burnt smell. And that was really, you know, the main thing. And I just kind of assumed everything else was in working order. Rushed up, did the paperwork. Screwed up on the paperwork. Like I said, that costs when you screw up on the paperwork and you're transferring the title. And that fucks up everything. Well, took off in the car, and the first thing to go, it was working like for the first 10 seconds. First thing to go, signal lights. They went out. They stayed solid. Found out later on, no tail lights. Found out after that, no front signals. Another thing about the LS1 engine is the famous sewing machine noise. And that one ended up being the water pump. And so after about 2 weeks, I got everything all straightened out, you know, because, you know, I know how to work on cars, you know, and it was all simple stuff. As far as the tail lights not working and the signals staying solid, that was the headlights, which had that happen on my Ford Explorer. So that was a quick, easy junkyard fix. Front signals was just the bulbs. The water pump was a pain in the ass. I fixed that yesterday. You know, I kept researching the LS1 sewing machine. All the threads came up, and it kept saying, you know, when you put a big cam in the cars, that they would sound like a freaking sewing machine. And that's what my car sound like. However, my car is stock. It is bone stock. So it shouldn't have had the sound at all. And I got to fooling around with it the other day. And I saw the big old water pump pull in, and I just touched it. And the whole thing just rocked back and forth. And I'm like, holy crap, that's what it was. The bearings in the water pump were gone. And from 7 to 4 p.m., I mean 7 p.m. to 4 a.m., that was the job I was doing. Would have been finished at midnight, but I didn't have enough gasket sealing. I was warned online about using the paper gaskets. Anyway, the paper gasket got caught on a boat and tore. Didn't realize it. Bolted everything back up, and water went everywhere. Had to take it down, go to Walmart in the middle of the night. Basically, I kind of made a shoebox gasket. That's some old school repair right there. Bought some more silicone, sealed the crap out of it. 4 in the morning, I was finished. 10 o'clock in the morning, I was at work. And for your average person, you know what I'm saying, you buy a car like that, you consider that a lemon, because I mean, that's a lot of repairing that you had to do in a short amount of time. On the other hand, the motor, man, is rock solid. From 40 to 50 just like that, and it got sideways. You know, that's nice. And the car gets great gas mileage as well. And that's, you know, that was my main focus of getting the car. But also, for the average person out there, when you're buying them, be sure to do the basic stuff. Get in them, flip the signal lights, turn your headlights on and off. Have somebody with you and have them check the brake lights. Make sure all that stuff is working before you take off. You know what I'm saying? You know, check your belts and your hoses and things like that. That way you don't have to fool with it when you're before you pay your money down and you take off and go. Like I said, that's the basic stuff that I didn't do this time, and I normally always do it. And generally, I mean, I've never had that issue buying a used car. First time ever, and all of that happened. And also, you know, get somebody with you that knows what you're doing on the title work. Like I said, on my title, getting it transferred, we signed in one wrong spot, and ended up, ended up having to pay for it. So let's talk about how much I had to pay for it, because I know you're wondering. So because we signed in the wrong spot, we had to get a title bond. And to get a bonded title, a title bond, or whatever you want to call it, just to prove that the car was legit, it was, I think it was $450 for that. Yeah, that's right, $450. So once that was taken care of, you know, that was through the insurance company. The courthouse, in order for us to even process the title bond, they wanted $17 for it. To get the title actually transferred after the title bond was $395. So yeah, that was on top of the cash that I paid for the car, $4,500. And for that kind of cash, I could have bought a souped up Camaro Z28 instead of a stock one. But like I said, you know, you fuck up on the paperwork, it will stick you. The only good news that I found out, you know, is that the car had a mechanic lien on it when it was auctioned off. So whatever went wrong with the car was repaired. I don't know what was repaired. After, you know, inspecting it, the car had a lot of new tags and things under the hood. I don't know what was replaced, but this car runs extremely strong. And usually when the mechanic puts a lien on a car, that's because the person cannot pay for it. So whatever the repair was evidently quite expensive. I don't know if they put a new transmission in it. I don't know if they put another motor in it. But this son of a bitch runs really, really good. Too good for the actual mileage that they actually claim. They did replace the odometer here, so they say. But yeah, mechanic lien car, it was auctioned off, and then I bought it. And the car is, I mean, rock solid. Other than the problems that I fixed on it, no issues. AC works great. Got the heat on. My $20 Walmart radio that I put in it to replace the stock unit. everything's working now, and you know, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this rant up. Be careful buying used cars. If you do buy some used cars, check everything out first before you take off. Have somebody with you. If you're mechanically inclined, that does help, but just be careful. I'd much rather pay what I paid now than have a car note every month, you know, for the next 5 years. It's paid for. It's cash. I don't have a note. I'm, you know, done. I don't have to look up. Also, you know what? Hold on. Before I keep talking, I'm just gonna say I don't have to worry about a $400 car note next month. My insurance on this car is $17 a month, which is sweet. Imagine that, $17 a month for insurance. And I've driven this car every day, you know, since Friday. I gassed it up, I filled it up, and I've put some miles on it since Friday. Did a lot of errands in it. Got one oil change left to do because I'm doing a motor flush on this thing. And so far the oil is supposed to be black as tar already. It's not. So like I said, whatever mechanical thing went on as far as the mechanical lean go, seemed to go well. Anyway, guys, y'all have a good night.